Mike,
What's up,
the
Alex? How you doing?
man, the myth, the legend. Took me like 3 weeks to get you on here, bro. How are you?
You got to my people got to talk to people, but we made it happen. I'm good.
Right,
How about
right.
you,
Hey,
sir?
it looks like you're realtor Mike ain't from like, you got a halo going on in the whole 9 yards.
If I can bless anybody along the way, I'll definitely do that. So,
Yeah, exactly. For those of you that don't know out there, very beginning when I started my real estate career, Mike put me through a ringer on a phone call. You remember
right,
that?
I was thinking about that the other day.
You remember that? Because I was calling expireds, and I'm calling, right. Hey, ring ring. I'm looking for Mike, and I'm going through the whole motion, and Mike is just going along, pulling my leg here and there, and giving me all kind of stuff. And did you give me an appointment that day or no? I think you did.
Yeah, I remember that. The funny thing is, we were literally the next office over from you, so we could hear you talking as we're, just giving you the business. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think it was a FISBO actually, because I had listed a flip that I was doing,
Is that
and
what?
yeah, you were just trying to get the business basically, and yeah, we put you through it, but you got the appointment at the end, and it's kind of like, even though it wasn't real, and I was gonna give it to you,
Yeah.
you tried real hard, and you were with me for like 10 minutes, so you kind of earned it.
Truthfully, I didn't even know what I was calling back then. I don't know if it was expired, FISBO, or was I just calling? I was just on the phone, just dialing people, trying to get a yes. Simple as that.
Right. Exactly. For a beginner, that's just the way you should do. Just go and keep hearing no until you hear yes. That's all you can do.
That's it. So I thank you for putting me through the ringer on that call, because that has prepared me for the future calls. So I truly appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. And look at you now, man. You're thriving. You're doing great. You're starting to branch off into other things. So, I mean,
Thank
it's,
you,
it's
man.
great to see
Thank
you,
you.
man.
Yeah, it means a lot coming from you. I appreciate that. So, I was talking to you the other day, and I wanted to bring you on here in regards to the PPP loan, right?
Sure.
I'm hearing a lot of things about it, and I'm reading a lot of things about it, but I wanted to talk to somebody who's been through the process, right? So people can hear personal experience and see
Right.
what they can relate to you or not, or maybe they're not the only ones that went through the hard times, right? So what made you feel like you qualify? Or let me ask you this, better question yet. What makes you eligible for a PPP loan?
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a pretty basic as far as eligibility. All you need to do is have a business account with a bank under a business name, of course, it could be an S corp, an LLC, a DBA. So any sort of business that's an official business, and I believe you needed to have that with a bank account before, I think it was February 15th,
Okay.
sure the exact day, but somewhere around there. And if you did that, technically, you should qualify. And that's just kind of the criteria for that. So, which I did meet that criteria. I have a couple different businesses, so I decided to pursue that process and see if I can get some sort of assistance. And it ended up not being the greatest process, but you definitely went through it all and you learned something from it. And
Yeah.
here we are.
Yeah. So you applied. I mean, okay, so let's back up a little bit, right? I know that you're in real estate and you sell real estate. I don't think a lot of other people know, or I'm sure, or they might do know. What is your other business?
Yeah, so I do real estate and I do that under a corporation. And me and my wife recently bought a salon
Okay.
downtown called Main Headquarters. So we do own that business as well. So just something for some passive income. Create a great environment. It's got a lot of potential, and we're really excited about it.
Okay.
Obviously with COVID going on, that kind of stopped the process because we were forced to shut down. But we're looking forward to resuming that really soon and getting that moving.
How long have you owned the salon?
Not very long. I think we bought it in, what was it, late December? And then, so we were open for a couple months, about
Wow.
3 months, started making some changes, starting to get into the way we wanted to get it. And then, this hit. So, we just had to shut down and be in compliance.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, if you're not going to shut down, they'll come shut you down, right? It's
Exactly. And I'm not
Governor
trying to get a big
Newsom's world. We just live in it.
100%, man.
So I mean, if you don't mind me asking, did you get a loan for that business?
No, I just purchased that cash.
We just pushed it out. Okay, fair enough. So, but now you still have rent due, right? Every month?
Yeah. So, I mean, technically, basically everyone within the salon is a 1099 employee. They're self-employed. So essentially they're
Correct.
their own business. So, they basically just pay us a weekly rent. We collect the rents and we just oversee things. And, we let everyone run their own business the best way they see fit as long as they're doing the right things.
Okay.
Obviously they're not working, so they can't afford to pay rent. I know some salons are charging them, but we decided not to charge them because, it just didn't seem right to us if someone's going to pay money and they're not able to work and make money. So.
Correct. So you do get charged rent, but you're not charging the people that are renting church from you right now, correct?
Right. Well, yeah, something of that nature.
And is that because your landlord is not charging you rent as of right now?
Right. Yeah, we're pretty blessed in our situation. Our landlord is working with us, so we're passing that along to the people that work there. So we're definitely we're at a standstill right now. It's kind of where we're at, but we have seen things progressing. I saw the article yesterday about Newsom. He's starting to open things up. I think I've seen a few restaurants open today. So hopefully we're not far behind, and we can open that and get everyone back to work.
Yeah, no, I personally have a lot of respect for small business owners, man. I mean, everything that we go through, we put all this stuff together and we put a business together and then you get shut down. I could only imagine the hardship, not only that it brought on your families, but the people that are working in your salon, right? So
right.
That's insane. So which bank did you apply through? How long was that process? I mean, what was that process like?
Right. So for the actual application for the PPP program, I applied through Bank of America. The reason being is I've been with them, since I had a bank account, basically, so about 20 years or so. And, I think that was one of the qualifications. That has to be obviously the bank that you had that business account with.
Okay.
Basically, essentially your primary bank. So I did that process through them, filled out the application. It's all online. You can't really talk to anybody about it. So it's a little frustrating in that aspect.
Yeah. So you applied online. I mean, well, you can't go into banks. Never mind. I'll take that back. So you just did it online. No work, no nothing.
And you really don't know where it goes or what's happening. So you just did it online and you just essentially just wait for a response, wait for an email saying, this is the next step, or you've been approved or you haven't been approved. So, it ended up turning into like a 5-step process, I guess you could say. But so what we did is I filled out the application, waited for a response. Luckily, I did get a response because you read and you see what's out there. A lot of people aren't even getting responses.
Yeah.
So I got that response.
You applied. You got a response. Are you able to share how much you applied for?
Yeah, I applied for 25,000. That would definitely be fine for what we needed it to do, just to pay bills and in the meantime. So they have you fill out specific questions like how many employees do you have, how much is your monthly rent, bills, that sort of thing, et cetera, et cetera. So based on all that, I came up with that number for the 3-month time frame of what we needed it for. So that's essentially the number that we put in.
So you sent in the application. Did they ask for any supporting documents saying, "Oh, can you show us proof," and stuff of that nature?
Yeah, they asked for some tax documents, which we provided. Things of that nature, just official documents, bank statements, things like that. So I provided all that with the original application, and just try to move forward with it.
Okay. So and then you've provided all that paperwork, and then somebody called you. What response did you get?
No, again, I haven't talked to one person.
Entire process.
The whole entire process, I haven't talked to one person. I attempted to talk to a business banker there, and she was as helpful as she could be, which I do appreciate. But it's all automated. It's all system generated online. That's kind of one of the flaws of it, in my opinion. Is just unfortunately you're not able to speak to somebody if there's an error. There's something's wrong with the paperwork.
Yeah, I personally don't think it's their fault either, but I mean, I think it could have been handled a little better. I think it was just so sudden and it was just implemented overnight. So I think they were also blindsided. If you ask, that's my personal opinion, right? Coming from a banking background, I think that's what happened, where the structure wasn't built.
Right. Essentially, it's just a knee-jerk reaction because all this happened within, what would you say, 2 weeks to a month. So they're just scrambling, trying to put together a program, and obviously they're not thinking about all these things that could come up. They just kind of just threw it out there, and this is what it is.
Right. So a lot of people got it, a lot of people didn't get it. So you applied for 25,000, turned everything in, and then what happened after that? Did you get the money yet? You going to Vegas? What's going on?
No, nothing like that. Unfortunately, no road trips on this one.
Okay.
So I basically got a response. They wanted some additional documentation, which I provided. It's all done through like their secure server. So I did all that. Again, you just do it and you wait.
How long did you wait again?
I waited probably another 3 to 4 days, and then I got a response after the 3 to 4 days saying, "Okay, your application is complete. No further action is needed. We'll provide you the money." So you're thinking, great, hey, I'm getting somewhere. And then that was the same day that all these news articles and whatnot came out, like the PPP, the original one, is out of money. So it's
But you
just
got
that
approved
time.
though.
I got approved. I got approved for nothing at that point. So yeah, so I basically at that point they were out of money. They sent a follow-up email saying, if more money comes, essentially like another PPP program comes out, your spot's are already there, you've been approved, we'll issue you the money if and when that does happen. So cool, it is what it is. So then they did the second wave of PPP. I got another email saying, okay, you're fully approved. Sign this final, it's like an affidavit or something like that,
Okay.
and you'll get your money. So I'm like, great, cool. I'm happy I was able to get this done. I know a lot of people aren't getting it done.
Yeah,
And
whatever. Everything helps. So what happens?
exactly. So then I finally get the final amendment to sign off, and it's a completely different amount. It's like $2,700 instead of the $25,000. And it's, again, there's no justification for it. There's no reasoning for it, and it's completely grayed out. You can't edit anything or change anything. It's either essentially sign this document or don't. But
Yeah.
again, because you can't talk to somebody about it, like, how do you determine this number, or why is it this number, even though I give justification on why I needed that number.
Yeah.
It just is what it is at that point. You just either sign it or you don't. So
Right.
that was kind of the final product on it, or the final answer on it. So
So 2,700. Did I hear that correctly?
yeah, 2,700. So about 10% no
Did you forget a zero when you were filling out an application? Perhaps maybe that could
Oh
be.
no, I went back and double checked just to make sure. But yeah, everything I did was the way it should have been done. But yeah, again, it's just odd because, like you mentioned, they just rushed us out, and there's no real rhyme or reason to it.
Right.
But yeah, that's essentially my story. So it's just, we got a $2,700 loan, which is, every little bit helps. It's not going to make a
Yeah.
difference, but we'll take it, and then we'll pay these bills we have to pay, and then we'll go from there.
100%. So wow. I'm truly sorry to hear that, because I've heard some stories where people got tons of money, and then I've heard some stories where people got no money. At least you got some of it, so which is
Right.
better than
Yeah.
nothing, I guess.
Maybe somebody had a piggy bank of leftover money or something. They just shot my way. Who
Yeah,
knows? But
right. 2,700 from Mike Stills. That's it. That's all you
there
get.
you go. Yeah,
So
and I've heard the same thing. So I mean, like I know people who've gotten hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I know people who actually need it, who have multiple businesses, who are denied. So there's no real rhyme or reason to it
yeah,
that I can see. It's just kind of, you have to shoot your shot, and if you make it, you make it.
right, and yeah. So which is great. So what do you think they should have done differently?
That's hard to say, honestly. I mean, to your point earlier, it was just rushed out. It was very, very rushed out. Obviously, if they can have some sort of customer service where you can speak to people and kind of just understand what they're thinking and why they would give you this number or why they won't give you the money,
Yeah,
just for clarification, at least you would understand. Which, to me, that's the biggest point, because it's all automated. It's all systems and online, so you can't really get answers. And sometimes you just need to speak to somebody to get
yeah,
answers.
yeah. And that's why I wanted to bring you on, right? Because like you experienced it, so maybe whoever watches the video and they want to apply for a PPP loan, maybe they can learn a thing or two and or know what to expect, right? Add in, instead of 25, you should have asked for 250,000, and you might
Right,
have
right.
received 25,
Yeah.
25,000. Who knows?
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. If they're doing 10% of what you asked for, yeah, definitely reach for the stars on that. Go high, and
yeah. So
yeah,
that's that. So now, is this thing forgivable?
yeah. So basically, the way I understand it is, if you basically show proof that you paid your business bills and things of that nature, or your rent or your lease or whatever the case may be, as long as it's business related, it is forgivable. You just have to show that documentation to the banks. That's just to the best of my knowledge, the way it works. So we're definitely
How
saying
do
that.
you how and where do you submit that proof? Is it towards the end of the year to your taxes, or what do you?
That honestly, I've never got an answer for, because I asked that myself and I wasn't able to get a straight answer. I imagine once this forbearance time ends, and once things get back to normal, they're going to release some information on this is how you get this debt forgiven. Um, so yeah, I just, again, it's just lack of clarification, lack of knowing. You're kind of just going in blind, and just
Yeah.
hoping for the best.
But what are the terms? I mean, are you getting charged like 10% interest rate, 5% interest rate based on a credit? What's going on over there?
Right. So with that, I don't think there's much of an interest rate at all. I believe it's just a short-term loan that you pay off with a very minimal interest rate. I've heard like 0.5% or 1/4%. But if you do use them for business purposes, which is of course what I'm going to do in this case, it is a forgivable loan. So
Right.
I mean, and that's great. I'm glad people are trying to help, and we have these government programs out there. But again, it just seems to be a bit of a mess.
Yeah. So no, I mean, wow. I mean, I'm truly sorry to hear that, but I guess 2,500 is still some money versus no money, you know? And on the bright side, your landlord is waiving your rent. So can I get his phone number also after we're done?
Yeah, I'll shoot that to you in a text after
Yeah.
this.
No, that's cool, man. Other than that, I wanted to ask you about the real estate side, right? You own rentals.
Right.
So there's Newsom hopped on national TV and decided to say you don't have to pay your rent anymore. Uh,
Hmm.
and a lot of people took it the wrong way. How has it been on your end with the rentals? Has the tenant paid, or what is that looking like for you?
Yeah, I mean, mine's a little bit different, and yeah, I know a lot of people are encountering those problems. I know you have rentals as well. We touched on that. Um, I mean, mine are Section 8, which is great. That government program is still going on, so I haven't seen a difference for me. I get my rent every the first of the month from the government each and every month. That hasn't changed, and then the Section 8 renter just pays a very small amount.
Yeah.
And I have very good renters, so I
Wow.
haven't encountered issues that some other people have, so I'm pretty fortunate about that.
Yeah, I think you could say you're more than pretty fortunate in that case, because I mean I'm hearing some serious stories out there. You know?
Right. Yeah, you can't evict right now. I mean, if someone doesn't want to pay it, essentially, what can you do at this point? So yeah, I definitely understand that it's not a great time to be a landlord, but it's 2020, so everything's changing.
Yeah, I think the whole year 2020 is not a great year. It's just been it's nothing but trouble. There's all it's been all downhill. I think. So
Yeah.
what I wanted to ask you was how is your? I'm hearing two sides of the stories on when it comes to Section 8. I'm hearing like a lot of positive things, and then I'm hearing a lot of negative things. How has your experience been with dealing with Section 8s?
I have nothing but great things to say about Section 8. I think it's
Really?
nothing but a positive experience on my half. There's a few things too. It's like a few caveats. Obviously, every house isn't going to qualify for Section 8. If you have a really nice house in a premier area, that's probably not Section 8 is probably not going to be your best option. But if you just have a smaller house or a duplex or a triplex and just a decent area, it's a really good service. Section 8 does a lot of the work for you. They kind of screen the tenants for you, so you have to be qualified for Section 8. So once they're qualified, you can just say, hey, I want to see if this house is Section 8 eligible. Section 8 does their thing. And if it is, they basically just post your house on the website, and then renters call you, tenants call you. So what I did in my situations, I just basically, I got a lot of calls. I just talked to the people I wanted to talk to, kind of interviewed them in a way, just kind of understand their situation and just let them know, hey, I want this to be a mutually beneficial relationship. And you just pick the person you want to work with and want them to be there, and that's kind of it. Now, the nice thing for that, though, is Section 8 still does work after the fact. They come in once a year and do inspections. So if the house isn't up to standards, they're going to make you fix some things. And obviously that makes the tenant keep the house in a nice condition as well, because they don't want them to lose their benefits.
So let's say I have a tenant who's Section 8, right? Moves in
Mm-hmm.
there on January. The house is in perfect condition, right? Movable, livable condition, right? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
as time goes by, he like trashes the place. Who's responsible for that?
Well, I mean, as a homeowner, you're still responsible. I mean, obviously that's your house. But again, if someone's going to do that, I mean, because in my situation, in most Section 8 situations, Section 8 is paying probably 90% of what that actual rent is. So, I mean, something got to be wrong with you, essentially, if you're paying such a small amount as a tenant to live in a house and to risk messing that up. So I guess it just kind of keeps those tenants on their toes. And most people are very fortunate and very blessed on being able to do that, to live in a house for such a small amount with Section 8 covering the rest. So
It's a
again, I
win-win for them. They're like, look, I'm gonna take care of the property. I'm only paying like 10% of the rent amount. There's no reason for me to screw it up on my end.
exactly 100%. So I mean, it just they're pretty blessed to be in a situation. And Section 8 is a great program for the people who aren't necessarily able to afford, a full rent.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, everybody wins. And again, I mean, I know there's bad sides, and there's always going to be bad tenants who just mess houses up and things like that. But in my situations, I've never had an issue. And as I buy more rentals, which is a definite goal of mine, I'm going to continue to make them Section 8 if the house fits that.
Yeah. Yeah. What kind of rentals are you looking to purchase?
I'd like to buy at least 3 rentals this year, maybe a duplex or a triplex, or single family houses if they come along. But the better deals will probably be a duplex or a multi-unit.
I have a duplex coming up for sale for 140 if you're interested.
Okay, yeah, we'll have to talk off the phone on that. So,
Yeah. I mean, I'll just throw it out there for everybody else just in case you're not interested. It's good stories and all that good stuff. But yeah, it's
hey,
140. It's '08. I mean, it's a good rent roll, 1,300 rent roll. Which is I think is really ideal for that side of town, and it's completely rehab.
Yeah, for 140, those numbers actually sound pretty reasonable.
Yeah, 100%. Fair enough, Mike. Well, hey, thanks for hopping on the call. Is there anything else you want to add on here?
No, again, I just appreciate the opportunity to sit down and talk to you. Keep doing what you're doing, and
Thanks,
it's nice to see you. Once I remember for your first day in, you were kind of like a deer in headlights, didn't really know what was going on, but you didn't care. You just hopped on those phones and you wanted to be successful, and look at you now, man. You're doing great things.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. I truly appreciate it. All right, Mike. Well, you take care of the family and good luck with all your businesses. All right.
All right. See you. Good talking to you.
Bye.